Welcome back to the channel. It's me, your pass out. Now sit on down because today, ladies and gentlemen, we are for the last ever time talking about Flash games. That's right, this is the final part in what is a 5-part series in which I go through and play 100 different Flash games. Today we're doing 81 to 100. We're finally wrapping things up. It's only been a year, a pretty short year at that. It flew by pretty quick. We've had a lot of stinkers, we've had a lot of bangers, and we've had a lot of fun. It's not integral that you go and watch the other parts in order to see this one. However, if you would like to after this video, go check those ones out. There's some absolute classics on there as well as some more niche ones. If this is your first time watching this series, we use a randomized wheel to select what we're going to play next, and then we give it a rating from S to E to find out which ones are actually good and which ones are nostalgic crap. If you're watching this video, I assume you know what a Flash game is. However, if you aren't aware for some reason, essentially Flash games are just browser games made with the Adobe Flash player. It's very simple. You've all probably played one at some point, whether it's Happy Wheels or Age of War, even Blues Tower Defense. So without further ado, let's get into the first Flash game of the video. Kneel the Nail is a point-and-click puzzle game. I've never really played this one, so this was an interesting experience. The story's pretty simple. There's a nail versus hammer war, basically using Vietnam trap techniques to demolish the American authority. Hell yeah. Oh, wait, no. Okay, now I'm a magnet. Alright. Oh, now I'm saving a sexy little nail hoe from these super creepy looking hammer guys. We switch between these characters pretty frequently for the remainder of the game until they finally meet together and get stuck together. And oh, okay, that's the end of the game now. Alright. The game only takes like 8 minutes or so and is definitely one of those back-of-class games. It's a one-time thing, not really replayable at all. The puzzles are super easy and there's not really a lose state. If you end up clicking the wrong thing, it just kind of does nothing until you click the right thing, so the lack of danger or possibility of loss does take away from a lot of the enjoyment in this. This is basically just baby's first puzzle. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just super forgettable, especially if you're not a child. I know that this specific title is actually really adored by a lot of different fans, however, I just couldn't get into it. It's not necessarily bad, just meh. So I'm just gonna have to give this one a C+. It's still good, but it just kind of lacks substance. Next game. Mutilate Doll 2 is a mix of something like Powder and Beat the Boss. You're able to actually change the environment both aesthetically and also the environment's gravity, temperature, and wind. There's a bunch of different powers to utilize like fire, shock, boxing glove, freeze, explosion, etc. You're able to spawn in a ton of different tools to utilize like axes, sci-fi guns, swords, explosives, statues to drop on them, or even equip the dolls with different hats and other hand tools. There is so much you can actually do in this game with different triggers and like a billion different items and settings for said items, like scaling them, which is kind of overwhelming, I'm not gonna lie. It took me a while to figure this game out, but holy shit, I don't think I actually got the full hang of it in the end anyway. There's just so much to figure out. Or maybe I'm just stupid. That's a very high possibility. The game obviously has minor gore elements, something very prevalent in most Flash games at this point, so that's not really surprising. The kids do yearn for violence. The possibilities in this game are seemingly endless. It truly does feel like something like Powder. Obviously, the average Joe Schmo is going to come across this and do the basics. However, if you're really into it, I'm sure you could become a fucking menace. Unfortunately, I am one of those average Joe Schmoes. I cannot be bothered to actually spend that much time learning all the ins and outs of this game. I'm sorry. I just don't care that much about it. I think objectively, if you did put that time and effort in, this is a fantastic game. Probably one of the best Flash games out there. However, if you're like me, you don't have that much effort to put into it, it's still a really good game. And it's at minimum a B+, but it's just not to that extreme that a lot of Mutilated Doll fans are. Like I said, a lot of people out there do love this title, and it's for good reason. And if you're one of those people, hats off to you. Anyway, next game. Yet another point-and-click puzzle game, literally just a caveman this time instead of Kneel the Nail, but even easier. The general premise is Adam traversing the prehistoric age through dinosaurs and other traps to reach the love of his life, Eve. Again, everything is so goddamn easy in this game. Again, there's no lose state, it's just mindless bullshit. Yes, this could again be a good kid's first puzzle game, but even the premise isn't as goofy and fun as Neil the Nail. So it just really doesn't have any legging to stand on. There's no real like reason to play this one. It's not as memorable as Neil. I honestly don't have much to say about this title at all, so I'm just gonna kind of zoom through it. This is literally just a worse version of Neil the Nail to me. Flat C, extremely forgettable. If you're gonna play a game like this, just go play Neil the Nail. And if you really like Neil the Nail, I guess give this one a go. I don't know. I'm gonna forget this exists in the next 2 minutes, so I guess just next game. Epic Battle Fantasy V is one of those Flash games that is super popular, but I just never got around to playing. But I really wish I did, because instead of playing Castaway, could have been playing something absolutely phenomenal. Right off the bat, you're able to pop these little adorable guys in the main menu, which immediately my expectations for this game have skyrocketed. Is that Pikachu? EBF 5 is a classic JRPG turn-based combat game, something that I have been bombarded with my entire lifespan on this channel. Speaking of Pokemon, you can also capture monsters. Seeing the inspiration, I guess. Hopefully Nintendo doesn't do a frivolous lawsuit against these guys as well. Just as expected from a title like this, you have a variety of attacks, spells, and items to utilize against a variety of different enemies that all have different weaknesses and strengths, forcing you to strategize, or, like every Pokemon player, just only pick the damage abilities because big number equals good. The game is riddled with features like a bestiary, medals, quests, crafting, and all that good stuff you can expect from an actual game, not just a Flash game. This is not the usual quality you get from a Flash game. This is insane. The art style in general is the classic Flash games aesthetic of looking really amateurish but definitely charming. Whether it's the chibi style in exploration, classic style during combat, or whatever these cutscenes are, I absolutely love it. The variety of different art styles within the game as well really show a level of care and passion that went into making this game. It does definitely have that classic raw XD humor that was super prevalent in the early 2010s. The fun kind of cringe humor, not that 2020 cringe. Holy shit, we never talk about that again. The game takes around 30 hours to complete, which for a Flash game is insane. That's just the main adventure. That's not if you're fucking around doing other stuff. This game is also available on Steam for 35 Australian dollars, which I'm pretty sure is about 25 USD. Look, the game's good, and I don't think it's nearly worth 35 bucks, but if this thing was a couple bucks off on Steam, I'd probably pick it up. There's clearly a level of insane care that went into making this product, so it's insane that they even gave this to us for free. The amount of content there is to do is insane, especially for the series. This is one of, if not the largest Flash game that I've gotten on this list, and the highest quality so far. It would be a disservice not only to Flash games, but also gaming in general if I didn't give this an S+. This is fantastic work. I'm honestly shocked that I didn't really hear about this much before this video, but I really can't recommend this enough. Even right now, if you're watching this, go try it out for free, and if you really do like it, buy the game, support the devs. Why not? I honestly have no clue what game genre I would categorize this, other than the most fucking hell yeah side-scrolling game of all damn time. Of course, a game this insane is Australian made, and when I say insane, I mean insane. Like the title suggests, you play a shark in Sydney, whoa, but you aren't just any shark, you're a shark with glasses, which gives you the ability to destroy boats, orcas, yachts, gliders, and even have mega strength to pull down helicopters, planes, and UFOs. I now understand why every foreigner is scared to come here. But that's not all, my dear viewers. No. You can eat horses, get a horse combo, Steve King Irwin pops up randomly if you're going ham enough. This game is a Caesar fest. It will blast your brain with 1,000 hell yeah moments all at once. I love it. This is the greatest game of all time for any ADHD riddled child. Dear parents, if Timmy is being a little piece of shit, put him in front of this game, he's gonna have a blast for about 5 minutes. It's pretty short. However, it is extremely replayable. I'm not sure there's actually much else you can do once you play it, but it's so fun that I can see myself playing this multiple times just purely for the insanity of it. The game just has such a level of unadulterated fun that is hard to find in games these days. But how much fun I had with this title, how unique it is, and how insane of a concept it is, I have to give it a minimum of A+. Look, I want to give this an S-, but I'm being slightly objective here. I feel like you guys would get mad if I did that. I have to have some integrity. Johnny Upgrade is very reminiscent of the game formula of a physics launcher game. Play, earn coins, die, upgrade, repeat. However, instead of launching and flying through the air, the game is simply a side-scroller platformer, which is a fun spin on one of my favorite Flash genres. You have your classic upgrades like speed, jump power, time limit, multiplier, and health. At the end of the level is a boss fight to beat the game, as well as many smaller enemies throughout the game that just exist to be a nuisance. The art style is pretty bland, which might sound obvious because we're talking about Flash games, but it's not even really stylized or fun like other Flash games, just meh. I did have a lot of fun. This is a shorter game as well. It only takes about 12 minutes to complete if you're not completely incompetent. Competing with other physics launching games, in my mind at least, is a lot shorter. Yes, it's not technically a physics launching game, but it basically is. Even though I wasn't really a fan of the art style at all, to be honest, the gameplay's pretty okay. It's nothing to write home about, but there's no complaints on my end. It's just a very standard platformer, and there's nothing wrong with that. Look, I won't call it the middest game of all time. It's certainly not as forgettable as a lot of other things on this list. But again, it's nothing to write home about. I'm gonna give this a C+. It's pretty good, but I'm not gonna come back to it. Speaking of physics launching games, Burrito Bison is a classic. Launching yourself into a crowd of gummies during a wrestling match like a true terrorist, the game released in 2011 and became a massive success, one of the biggest in the subgenre. They released a more polished version in 2016, Burrito Bison Launcher Libre 2, that absolutely slaps. I accidentally played this instead of the original for quite a while, and I was like, oh damn, I don't remember it being this good. You can even become a woman in that one. It's got features like the ability to slam your big, sweaty, hairy body onto these gummies. Just don't slam into the police gummies, because that's an instant lose. This f***ed me up more times than I like to admit. You got a bunch of upgrades like the Diddy Lotion, elastic cables, rocket slam, bounciness, etc. As well as a bunch of different unique enemies like your normal gummies, money gummies, police gummies. The game is certainly fun. Just not a lot I have to say that I haven't said about the other 1,000 physics launching games I've played already. I will say, compared to those, this has a lot of variety when it comes to obstacles and enemies and upgrades, which in a game like this is a necessity. It's definitely one of the more polished and known of its genre, so for that, it has to get at least an S-. This is already one of my favorite genres, and this just does it so well. Next game! Mighty Knight is a side-scroller hack-and-slash game with a coin upgrade progression system. You have 5 stages: the plains, woods, cave, bridge, and castle, as well as a bunch of upgrades for some stuff like your armor, sword, boots, and shield. You're able to collect other adventurers to join you on your journey and also upgrade them as well. It even has a compendium to learn about said enemies, which I love that. Small additions like this really show that the game creators put a lot of care into their project. Also, at the start of every round, you're able to buy runes, which will boost stuff like your base damage, health regen, etc. You get like 4 levels per stage each stage, so it's like a total of 20 or so levels. There's heaps to grind out here. At your later levels, you're not going to win it first try, so it's not just 20 levels. You're going to be replaying some of these a couple times. It's not an overbearing amount either. Like, yes, there is a bit of a grind, but it's not going to make you want to stop. I can see this having some replay value for those that are fan of a hack and slash type of game, but for me, probably not. It's going to be a solid flat B though. This is pretty good. If you're into hack and slashes, you're looking for something that's free, give it a go. Why not? Straw Hat Samurai is a very interesting one. It's got 2 different modes, your normal and survival mode, and you're never going to guess what survival mode is. That's right, you got to survive as long as you can, with endless waves of enemies coming at you. Get hit 10 times and you lose. The gameplay is really unique. To attack, you use your mouse to draw a line on the screen, and after a brief pause, your samurai will Naruto jutsu his way through the path that you just drew, slicing anything in its way. It gives that really overly dramatic, hell yeah samurai vibe perfectly. It just really encapsulates that like childhood brain. The main map gives you multiple pathways you can explore to find different treasures that give you stat boosts or weapons like bows. There's a bunch of different enemy types as well, like your normal, your archers, and shield guys to, you know, give you a bit of a challenge, because you are OP as shit in this. Unfortunately, despite the really unique gameplay, it just couldn't hold me for that long. It got old pretty quick. It didn't take me long at all to be like, okay, I'm over it now. The art style is pretty good. Everything works great. It's just, it couldn't hold my attention. I can't see this being my favorite game, but I can definitely see someone absolutely adoring this. It's going to get at least a B-. It's a pretty good title. It's just not going to be in my top 10 anytime soon. Released in 2009, helping popularize the infinite runner genre and inspire other games like Vector to release, aka the most hell yeah mobile game ever. The game's got a really cool background environment with like giant robots roaming around and ships flying by and even drop pods slamming into the rooftops to trip you up. It's a very monochrome tone, but that's kind of the vibe. It's a very intentional design choice and it works really well. It was fun. It's an extremely fast-paced game and it's somewhat difficult, but only because of the absolute speed and also the jumping that is extremely floaty. It's kind of hard to gauge where the hell you're gonna land. Definitely takes some getting used to. Other than that, it's very basic. I mean, it's down to the bones. This is as basic as it gets. This is actually available on Steam for $4.50 Australian dollars, which, no, it's not worth that. It being such a pioneer of its genre and definitely one of the biggest to popularize what it became, truly an OG of the Flash era, it would be disrespectful to put it anywhere near that C category, but also I can't see it going any higher than a flat B. I'm sorry. It's definitely not down there with the boring ones, but it is nowhere near the best of the best. No. It's a very solid experience all around without all the bells and whistles. What more can you ask for? Next game. Hey, remember that Sydney Shark game? Well, imagine that, but, medieval. Instead of that modern day crap, we're taking down flying pirate ships, dragons, destroying castles, and turning into a Beyblade to kill the Kraken or slaughter some Cupids and vampire bats. What the f*** is happening? This game is just as, if not a little more batshit insane than the last. I mean, they seriously ramped up the hell yeah to dangerous levels of ridiculous, but I mean, to be honest, I kind of love it. I mean, the shark is wielding a fucking sword, for God's sake. How more ridiculous can we get? If you love any of the other shark games, this is a must try. It's just dumb, stupid fun for a solid 3 minutes or so. You can't go wrong with one of these shark games, man. It's gonna get the same score as Sydney Shark, easy A+. Its stupidity is immaculate. Defend Your Nuts has 3 basic difficulties, and it is a turn-based point-and-click defense simulator. The gameplay is pretty simple. Hordes of enemies will approach your squirrel, and he will have to use its tools to stop said enemies. This is done by click and holding with your mouse to adjust the power and direction of your shots. Headshots doing extra damage, enemies dropping coins or ammo for you to pick up as well, to then use in the shop, where you can buy the bow, the shotgun, rifle, RPG, mines, or fences. You get a pretty decent variety of enemies too, like the skeleton bee, ogre, dragonflies, maybe even 10 million of them. If more than 3 enemies reach your nuts, you lose. And I'm not used to people actively wanting my nuts, so this was quite the experience for me. The gameplay is passable at best. It's nothing crazy, you're not gonna have your mind blown by this game. And that's mostly down to the animations being broken. No movement really occurs when I'm aiming, even when I have the laser sight, which is, well, that's a funky little error, isn't it? Speaking of errors, I don't know why, but my camera's just been going in and out of contrast randomly while I'm recording, so if you've noticed that, I'm sorry, but it's been pissing me off. I don't know why it's doing it. The difficulty incline in this game is pretty steep, I'm not gonna lie. The second you hit like round 12, you're cooked, locked in. It's not like overly difficult. It is a Flash game, so a difficult Flash game is like, it's gonna be hard for a 14-year-old. Unless it's Clop. F that game. The game's a lot shorter than others on this list, but it's still got a decent amount of content. It's not one of those 2 to 5 minute games. It's unfortunately also pretty repetitive, which is not a great combo. It's not bad, it's just kind of mediocre, so I'm gonna give this one a flat C. Getting quite a few of these this episode. Oh well, next game. Similarly to Earn to Die, the objective is to safely make it to the next garage. However, instead of running out of fuel and restarting, the obstacles are actual enemies destroying your vessels. Once destroyed, just like Earn to Die, you must upgrade your vessel's gun, Black Ops 2R's kill streak, or durability, or just upgrade the entire vessel. You can have 3 cars in your convoy to mix and match their abilities and whatnot. This is such a cool concept. I love it. Some Mad Max level shit. There's 5 different garages with a total of 15 different cars. The shooting and movement of the game is automatic, so there's not much brain power needed for this. There is a pretty decent variety of enemies in this one as well. You have your bikers, your trucks, jetpacks, helicopter, and a giant missile, excuse me? The game, despite being mostly automatic and played by itself, is actually so fun. The game loop in this is so addictive, I have no clue why. Even though it is so repetitive, which is usually a complaint of mine, I had a blast. This is a great time. The progress system is a shining light in this game. It feels like it's the glue that's holding this game together. See the contrast thing? I'm not crazy. I was constantly looking forward to unlocking the next thing and trying out the next vehicle, and then, you know, mixing and matching them together. It was a really, really good time. It was exactly what I love from Earn the Die with a different twist on it, and that's exactly what I was looking for going into this game. This gets an easy A+. I'm not gonna lie, I went into this thinking it was just gonna be a shitty version of Earn the Die. It's not. Knightmare Tower is a very nostalgic one for me. The premise is simple. You're flying through different levels of the tower, bouncing off of different enemies and avoiding the pool of ever-rising lava below you to save the princess from every floor of the tower without dying. Just like most of these games, pretty decent variety of enemies. You got your normal ones, spiky boys that you have to avoid hitting, the ball shooters, which, yes, you're meant to avoid the balls too, and dragons. Oh, you earn some money via quests as well that you can then use in the store to upgrade things like your armor, your sword, boots, and rocket, or even stuff like luck, extraction power, oil, and speed bonus. And yes, they do give you physical representation of these upgrades. It's a nice little addition. I love it when they do this. Off topic, but at the start of one of the rounds, it hits me with a like a boss reference. Holy shit. I love that Flash games really are just a time capsule of a, well, I don't want to say better time, but well, you know what? It was a better time. We need to go back to this. I really like the art style in this game as well. It felt extremely similar to me, so I looked into the developer of this and I found out that this was made by the same guy that made Burrito Bison. Starting to explain a lot about this game and why it's such a banger. The gameplay is actually really fun and a lot more engaging than you would think, honestly. You only really need to use one hand for your WASD.
What do you mean by that?
So it's pretty simple gameplay wise. It's just that the game loop itself is really good once again. It certainly does have a bell curve of grind. It starts off pretty easy and you progress pretty quickly. However, you will very quickly also hit that bell curve where the grind gets immense. That's not a problem for me though. This is extremely replayable. I had a blast playing it. I didn't mind grinding it out at all. So with the progression system, the art style, even the music, everything about this game was amazing. This has to get at least an A+ from me. I loved it as a child. I love it as an adult. This is an absolute banger. I love it. Go play it. Next game.
Killtrocity.
Swords and Souls is a very, very interesting one. You get to customize your soul's hair, eyes, and facial hair. This game is one of the more expansive ones I've gotten on this list. The main premise is to enter and progress through the arena via combat, where the standard attacks are pretty much automatic besides abilities and skills that you can manually cast. In order to progress in strength, you go to the training grounds where you can level up the grounds themselves, strength, block, accuracy, and speed. All of these require you to complete different mini games, and the longer you do it, the more you're going to upgrade it. It's a pretty cool feature. I like it. You can use the coins that you earn at the shop to buy different weapons, shields, armor, potions, and magic scrolls for combat. But that's not all. There's even more. You can go to your character sheet to level up, get different statistics, and unlock a variety of skills and talents to use in combat as well. Oh, and lastly, you can just buy and own a home, slowly upgrading it with the coins you own just for fun. I guess, why not? There is also a museum I didn't quite get deep into, but even that, it seems pretty expansive. Why is there so much content in this game? I played this for the longest out of any of these games in this video at least. I had an absolute blast. I had to like actually stop myself from playing because I'm like, I have other things to do. Like I can't just get stuck in this. There is so much variety in what I can do, both like gameplay wise and progression wise, that it's just, it will hook you. Something in this game is going to hook you. And for me, it was building up my skills. Because you can just do those mini games forever, essentially, and just keep leveling up that one skill, and you can break that character so quick. I'm going to be returning to this in the future, and honestly, everyone watching this should go give it a try. I'm not even, go try it. Some might call me overly generous, but honestly, this is getting a flat S. This is one of the better ones I've played in this entire series. It deserves all the praise that it's gotten, and possibly more. Next game. Holy shit, speak about praise. Papa's Pizzeria is obviously one of the most infamous Flash games of all time. The first entry into a massive franchise. But it's not the best. That's Papa's Pizzeria, alright? That's the best one. Day by day, you take pizza orders and go through all the stages of toppings, cooking, and cutting said orders to deliver them to the customers. The more accurate you are, the higher percentage and the higher tips you get. Every day, you unlock more customers that demand different and new toppings, cook times, and cutting sequences. You use the tips you earn to buy stuff like heat lamps, timers, alarms, posters, and other decor. The roster of customers is actually massive, and they're all unique. They all have different orders. I don't have to explain this game too much. Everyone knows this shit. However, not everyone might know that there is a cheat code that you can like, if you name yourself this specific thing. I'll put it on screen right now because I can't remember it right this second. But it basically just takes you right to day 99 with almost all the characters unlocked, which is a nice little cheat code if you just want to try that. I'm not going to spend forever glazing this game. Everyone knows this. Even if you don't even, like, if you at the start of this video were like, what's a Flash game? You play Papa's Pizzeria. Don't lie to me. And if you haven't, that's racist. I don't know how, but it is racist. It is so influential to the Flash game scene just in general that it kind of transcended Flash games and it just became one of the biggest games, full stop. This is going to get an extremely predictable S+. Who would have guessed? Let's not waste too much time on this. I know I'm just rushing through one of the biggest games of all time, but come on. The second entry of Stick War really screwed me over when I played it for this series, so I'm giving it another chance. We're playing the original. This is one that I remember loving with all of my heart, so I hope it doesn't disappoint. Not really relevant, but I already hate this main menu. Why is the text so hard to see on this shit? What? This is such a bad design choice. The premise is pretty simple. You use miners to gather gold, use the gold to get more miners, or other troops like swordsmen or archers. You unlock a variety of other troops like Spartans as well. If you just play through the game, you just kind of get them as you go. And you use all these to either defend your statue against the opposing enemy or attack said enemy's statue. Balance all of this to win upon destroying the enemy's statue. After every level, you kind of just go to the armory and upgrade all your troops and miners or your statue itself, upgrading stuff like their speed or their attack damage and stuff like that. Occasionally, the game will throw in a different mission like defending yourself against an ambush, which is it spices it up. The game can be pretty easy, so I recommend playing on hard or insanity if you're no longer a child. This game is iconic to all those little boys out there. Trust me, I know a lot about them. It is really a true icon in this entire sphere of Flash games. And yes, it is just as fun as you remember. It's got a good amount of content too, and it drip feeds you enough new content that it kind of negates the repetitive nature of the game. This is probably one of the easier flat asses that I'm going to give out in this series. I'm sure everyone expected that. Anyways, next game. You start by creating your own gladiator by customizing their appearance and allocating points into your 7 skills. Once you're in the town square, there's an armory to buy different armors and shields, and there's a weaponsmith for, well, weapons. And then the arena, throwing you into a 1v1 using turn-based combat. You can move forward and backwards, taunt, charge, and then when close enough you can finally attack with 3 different power levels, each with varying chances to hit. This game, unlike a lot of other turn-based games on this list, definitely relies on strategy a lot more, which I like. It's good. Upon winning a fight, you get 3 more skill points to allocate into your character, along with gold, obviously. Occasionally you'll get a champion fighter, sort of like a mini boss fight, and upon beating the champion, you can steal a piece of their equipment, like a sword. Honestly, at first I thought this was made with the same guy that made Swords and Souls, but it's not. It's an entirely different thing. This game is honestly so fun, and I'm having a blast What the f? This isn't the full you gotta be kidding me. Despite me being cut off short, much to my chagrin, I really wanted to keep playing this. I was having a good time. And the very messy art style. Don't let it fool you. This game is fantastic. I could not tell you why, but I could not tear myself away from this until the game forced me to. It reminded me of a smaller scale version of something like Swords and Souls, which is why I thought it was made by the same guy, but it's not. So clearly Swords and Souls was just inspired by this game. This is gonna get a flat A. It is just a smaller scale version of Swords and Souls, so yes, I would go recommend playing Swords and Souls over this, but this game's really good too. It's just not as in-depth as a lot of other titles on this list, so it's not going to get a super high score. Next game. this will be a quick one, mostly because the game itself is a quick one. I mean, the entire point of this is you're an assassin sneaking up on the king, having to hold in the mouse button to raise the bar to fill it. That doesn't make sense. You gotta raise the bar until it's full. That's better. In order to assassinate said king, but be careful because occasionally he will turn around to catch you, forcing you to have to let go of the mouse and reset your entire progress so you don't get caught. Once you assassinate the king, you take his place, and then you have to be the one looking back to catch your assassin, or else you die, and then, yeah, it just kind of like does that forever, so you just keep switching places. It's fine. Like I said, super short one. Not gonna waste too much time on this. I really don't have much to say about this at all. I played it for 3 minutes and I had gone through like 5 different rounds of it. I had to actually like let myself lose to see what would happen. It still keeps going. The game keeps going. So there's not even really a lose state. There's no point. You know, okay, this is one that I had never played before this, but I'd seen a lot of people talking about it and some clips online of it, so I expected way more out of it going in, and I think the fact that I expected so much more kind of tainted my experience. Not that there was much of an experience. The game's not inherently bad. Let's put that out there right now, but I don't really see a point in playing this once, let alone more than once, so I'd C-, I guess. I mean, it's... Why? On to our final game, ladies and gentlemen. Not even going to need the wheel for this one. Of course, we're playing Doodle God. Yeah. You could call me the god of doodles the way I be handling them. Anyway, finally, ending our almost year-long series with a classic. Unfortunately, I have already covered Doodle Devil in this series, and this is just a more fleshed-out version of that, so let's get through this. Right off the bat, there is already so much more content compared to Doodle Devil. Ignoring the main game, we have quests, puzzles, artifacts to find, and, you know, other shit. But we're gonna focus on the main game for now. There are 4 stages to the game that you work through as you progress, from basic elements to technology, modern age, and then the world of magic. Your objective is to combine 2 objects of elements together to create a new one, only opening up more and more possibilities. And they do give you hints in case you're completely like me. As you unlock new things, they show up on the world map, slowly populating it and changing it over time, which is a fantastic design choice. It greatly enhances the feeling of progression. If you're a patient person, this game is a blast. Unfortunately, this is only good as a mobile game to me. I can't play this for more than 10 minutes at a time without wanting to tear my eyeballs out. Don't get it twisted, I do love this game and it is good. I'm just so brain rotted that I need at least 20 different stimulus at once. I gave Doodle Devil a B+, and this is just a way more in-depth version of that with a lot more content. So this is going to get a pretty easy A-. It's a great game, it's just not quite my speed, and that's fine. Not everything's going to be for me, but I know that it's good. I know it is. I enjoy playing it, and that wraps up a very long series on my channel. I'm just going to start rambling for a little bit, and it's going to be pretty unedited, so you can just click off now. That's fine. I'll talk to myself, it's fine. It's been a pretty long year. Yeah, we've uploaded well, not a lot of videos compared to other channels, holy shit. But I always try to put a lot of editing into this stuff, and I wasn't that great at editing when I started. Just go back to the first episode. What a mess. Especially the talking part. Oh my god, do I suck at talking. I will be uploading in like a week or two a compilation, not a compilation, but I'm going to be joining them all together to create sort of a I played 100 Flash games, the movie. And it should be anywhere from like an hour and a half to 2 hours long, so keep an eye out for that. That if you just want to, I don't know, have something on in the background while you jack off, I don't know. It is my dream to be in the background while 2 people are clapping cheeks, so I mean, don't send me a video of that, don't. But, you know, let me know. Unless it's 2 men, and I want POV from the bolt. I know I look like a mess right now. I have just started a warehouse job. I love it, but it's kicking my ass, so uploads might be slowing back down to about once a month instead of twice a month. I apologize. I am trying my best. I've gotten a lot quicker when it comes to editing videos, so I won't be doing that 4-month hiatus that I did that one time. Holy shit. Thank you, everyone that supported me. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you for continuing to support me. I have a lot more videos that I want to get out, and I have a couple series that maybe I'll start up a series, you know, sometime after this. I like doing these little, you know, episodic things. That's about it. That's all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And like, subscribe. Bye.